Hello students. Today we will begin with the new chapter, that is heredity and evolution. Now, all the basic terms in molecular biology and genetics which is required to understand this chapter, all those terms or the important topics I have already discussed with you in the previous classes and also revised. Now students, living organisms, they reproduces for the existence and continuity of their species, that you know. All the living organisms, not only animals and plants, but even the microorganisms. So this is one of the important characteristic of all the living organisms, like respiration, excretion, nutrition. They are the important characteristic of all the living organisms. Same way, the reproduction is also the important characteristic of all the living organisms, and it is necessary for the continuity of species. Now, what is species? This we have discussed in class 9. Species are the organisms which are able to interbreed among themselves and produces fertile offspring. For example, let us say A is one species, B is another, let us say A and B. So A or all the organism, A is one group, B is another group. So all the organisms of A group, they are able to interbreed among themselves and produce the fertile offspring. So we say A is one species. B, all the organisms of B can interbreed among themselves and produce fertile offspring. So B is another species. But A, organisms of A cannot interbreed with the organisms of B. Is it clear? So species include the organisms which are capable of interbreeding among themselves and producing fertile offsprings. What are offsprings? Offsprings are the young ones which are produced after reproduction. Okay. Now, like cat, you take all the cats able to interbreed among themselves and produce fertile offspring belong to one species. Okay. Now they are now this horse and donkey, they are made to interbreed among themselves to produce mule. Okay, mule is the offspring or the organism produced by interbreeding of horse and donkey. I hope it's clear to you. Otherwise, once you can refer class 9 book also. All these things I have discussed in class 9. Now students, offspring are produced either through asexual means or by sexual reproduction, because there are two modes of reproduction. Now offspring resemble their parents, but they are not the exact copy of their parents. Through reproduction, the new young ones, they resemble the parents, but they are not the carbon copies of them, or they do not exactly resemble their parents. Offspring produced through asexual method resemble parents to large extent compared to the offspring which is produced through sexual methods, because in asexual means only one parent is involved, so the genetic material of only that parent will go to the offspring. So offsprings are exact copies of the parents. I will not say exact copies, but they resemble the parent to large extent. Whereas in sexual reproduction, the chromosomes or the genes are contributed by both the parents, and those go to the zygote or the offspring. So they may have some characteristic of father, or they may have one characteristic of one parent and other characteristic of the other parent. So the similarity, the offspring produced by asexual means, they resemble the parent to large extent as compared to the offspring produced through sexual method. Now, all the members of species show close resemblance or similarity in some basic characteristics. Okay, students, now you know this thing that a dog looks similar to other dog. All humans look similar. Likewise, tiger, lions, cats, mice, mango plants and wheat plants, they all look similar. All the mango plants will look similar, all the dogs will look similar, cats will look similar, birds will look similar, So they all look similar. Why dog does not look like a parrot or parrot look like a cat? All the parrots will have some same body structure, shape, and also the habits. Why? This happens because all living organisms produce offsprings which are similar to them. Human beings produce babies which look like them. Similarly, cats produce kittens which are similar to them in body, shape, size, color, and other basic characteristics of species. Okay, now why this similarity is there? Why all the dogs are similar, all the cats are similar, all the parrots are similar, all the rabbits are similar? Because of heredity. What is heredity? Heredity is also called as inheritance or biological inheritance. It is the passing on of traits from parents to their offsprings, either through asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction. The offspring cells or organisms acquire the genetic information of their parents. Or another definition is also there, that is heredity is the transmission of characteristics. Okay, characteristics means features from one generation to the other, that is from parents to the offsprings. Is it clear? So there are two definitions. So what does it mean? It means that some factors, it means that genes, we have studied this before, that genes controls all the characters of the living organisms. And genes are what? They are the functional parts of DNA. And what are DNA? Chromosomes. Chromosomes are what? Chromosomes are DNA. And what are genes? The functional parts of the DNA. So these, and there are many genes, and these genes control each and every character of the living organisms. Everything is controlled by the genes, or whole of the information of a living organism is present in the DNA or the gene. So what happens during reproduction, whether it is a asexual or whether it is a sexual reproduction, during reproduction the chromosomes, they are transferred to the offspring from the parents. Now these chromosomes of the parents, what are chromosomes? They are the DNA. And what are genes? Genes are the parts or the functional parts of the DNA which control all the characters. So when these chromosomes from the parents are transferred to the offspring by sexual or asexual reproduction, what will happen? The offspring will have the chromosomes of the parents. So offsprings will now have the DNA of the parents, or you can also say that the offsprings will now have the genes of the parents, and these genes control different characters, and these genes are the genes which is transmitted from the parents to the offspring. So that means these genes or the offspring will have the same characters of the parents also. Understood? And these genes control each and everything of the living organism. So that is why humans, all the humans are same, all the dogs they resemble each other, cats resemble each other, bacteria resemble each other, all these things they resemble each other. Understood or no? I hope it's clear to everyone. Okay, because of the genes. Now the genes of the cats, suppose let us take the example of cats. So when the chromosome of the cat is transferred to the offspring, means the genes or the DNA of the cat is transferred to the offspring, and the kitten is transferred to the kitten. So that kitten will have the genes of the cat, and these genes will be different from the genes of the dogs or the genes of the parrots or genes of the plants or the genes of the humans. So because of the difference in the genes, the different organisms, they look different. I hope it's clear to everyone now. So students, in sexual reproduction, the case is different. Here, the two parents of different sexes are involved and occurs the formation of male and the female gametes. Now you know the gametes are produced as a result of meiosis in the sex organs. In the sex organs, the germs diploid cells, they undergo meiosis and they produces gametes. Okay, and during the production of gametes, what happens? Crossing over also takes place. Crossing over of the chromosomes and the exchange of the chromosomal segments also takes place, and these gametes, okay, they fuse to form the zygote, and the zygote grows and develops into a new individual. So that is why here the zygote or the offspring produced is not exactly similar to that of the parents. Okay. Whereas in asexual reproduction involves single parent, and during this the characters are transmitted from parents to offspring without any change. So only minor changes arise, and that arise due to the error in the DNA copying. So what errors in the DNA copying and those things you will study in your higher classes. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now the branch of biology that deals with the study of heredity and variations is called as genetics. Okay. Now students, we will discuss a few important terms, the terms used in genetics. Gene. I have told you this before also. Gene is the functional part of the DNA. You can see this picture of gene. You can see this is the chromosome which is shown by this whole is the chromosome. Okay, you can see a long coil structure, very thin structure. This is the chromosome. Now you can see this red arrow pointing towards the fragment of DNA. So this short fragment of DNA is called as gene, and this gene you can even see in the chromosome. So gene is the functional part of the chromosome. Now homologous chromosome, I have told you this before also. The pair of exactly similar chromosomes in size, structure, and the genes are present at the same loci, or you can say at the same place. I hope it is clear to everyone. So students, characters. Characters are the distinct and the well-defined morphological and the physiological feature of an individual. For example, height. Height is a character. For example, color of the eyes. That is the character. Color of the hair. That is the character. Okay, so these are the characters. Trait. Distinguishable expression of character. Example, tallness and dwarfness are the traits of character. Height. Now, height is a character, but an organism or a person can be tall and can be short. So these are the traits. They are okay. These are called as the traits. These are the distinguishable expression of a character. Okay. Now, for example, if we take the case of color of the eyes. So color of the eyes is a character. But eyes can be blue, brown, black. So these are the traits. Color of the hair. So this is the character. Okay. But how you will distinguish? What are the distinguishable expression of this character? That color of the hair can be brown, can be black, can be white. So these are the traits. Genotype. Genotype, that is the genetic constitution of any character of an organism. Genetic, the arrangement of genes. Okay. So, and phenotype, that is the external visible physical appearance. The visible appearance or the visible external trait, that is called as the phenotype. When we will do monohybrid and dihybrid cross, then it will become easier for you. Okay. Now please refer this example. See here, refer your PDF file also. Now you see this first picture, it is written genotype with blue and phenotype with brown. Now you can see here, these are the two chromosomes. Okay, in two chromosomes, one is maternal and one is paternal, and these are the homologous chromosomes. And you can see there are different color lines. So these different color lines are actually the genes. Okay, and you will also notice one thing, that in both the chromosome, the color of the line is same. So because they are homologous chromosome, and in homologous chromosome, the genes, they have the same loci. The similar genes or genes for a particular character, they have the same loci. Okay, now this is called as the genotype. For example, I will say, let us take the first line. Okay, and let us say this first chromosome, let us say it's maternal, and the second chromosome is paternal. Now let us say this first line, okay, it represents, or this first gene, okay, it represents the height. Is it clear? Now first chromosome is maternal chromosome, and this, let us say the mother is short. Okay, so, and the second chromosome, the first gene, it represents the character height, and let us say second chromosome is what? Paternal. So here paternal, it is tall. Understood? So here there is a tallness gene, and in the maternal chromosome there is a shortness gene. Okay, and the character is height. I hope it is clear. Now there are two chromosomes, one is maternal and one is paternal, and in maternal, let us say the first is the gene for tallness and second is the gene for shortness. Now these genes, they will code for one phenotypic expression or phenotypic appearance, visible physical appearance. Have you understood? So these genes, what is genotype? It is the constitution, it is the genetic constitution. So these genotype, please see here students, understand it properly. You can see there are two chromosomes. So in maternal, the gene is for tallness, and in the paternal, the gene is for shortness. Now what will be the offspring? Half tall or half short? Or super tall or super short? No. The offspring will be either tall or the offspring will be either short. Okay, so this genetic constitution will tell what will be the trait of the offspring, whether the offspring will be tall or the offspring will be short. Okay, that is the genotype. So this arrangement of genes for the particular character is called as the genotype. So here, if there are two chromosomes, in maternal chromosome is the gene for trait tallness, and the paternal will have the gene for shortness. I hope it is clear to all of you. And here, that height, that is visible, that shortness, that trait is also visible. So that is called as a phenotype. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now you see the next picture. In the next picture, what is the phenotype? Brown eyes. And what is the, in the first eye picture, it is blue eyes. So what are the phenotypes? It is the physical appearance of the organism. So in second picture, eyes are blue and eyes are also red. So this is the phenotype. Whereas in first picture, there is genotype also, that is the genetic arrangement or the arrangement of the genes or the genetic constitution of the genes which codes for a particular trait. I hope it is clear to everyone nicely. Now what are variations? Understand by variations. Variation are any changes or any difference in the trait is called as the variations. Certain changes. For example, if you will go in a sugarcane field, you will see that all the sugarcane trees are similar. Okay, all of them are similar. But you will find that there are certain trees, there are certain sugarcane plants which are short also. Now sugarcane reproduces asexually, so almost all the plants are similar to each other, means here the variation is to lesser extent. So here what you will notice that in the sugarcane field, all the sugarcane plants are tall, but there are certain short plants also, short sugarcane plants also. So these are the variations, these are the changes. Okay, most of the plants, sugarcane plants are tall, but few are short. So that is the variation. These are the changes. I hope it is clear to everyone. What are variation? They are the changes. Like variation is the occurrence of differences among individuals of the species. For example, different people have different heights. Okay, they have different shape of nose, skin color. So these all are variations, the changes. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now, so these are produced in all the organisms that reproduces and get accumulated in the organisms and pass on to more and more individual of each generations. Have you understood this or no? Now, please see here, creation of diversity over succeeding generations. Now you see here, this is one organism, okay? Now it reproduces to produce two organisms, you can see here, and both of them are similar in structure, shape and size. Now you can see here, and it reproduces by asexual method, and it produces two organisms which are similar to each other, but you will notice that it has certain variations. For example, in the first one, on top it is showing red color, and in the second one it is having below it is showing, at the bottom it is showing green color. So these are the variations, these are the changes which was not present in the parent plant. Okay, which was not present in the parent, in the first picture, in the first organism, one organism. This one organism reproduces asexually, produce two organisms. They are exactly similar to the parent, but there are certain changes, or you can say these are called as variations. Now again both of them again reproduce asexually and produces two organisms. So in total there are four organisms. First, the parent, the single parent reproduces asexually and produces two offsprings. So let us say this is the first generation. Okay, now in these first generation organisms there are certain changes which was not seen in the parent, so these are the variations. Now in the first generation offsprings, okay, they reproduces, each of them reproduces and produce four, in total four offsprings. In first generation, first parent produce two offsprings and the second one also produces two offsprings. So there are four offsprings. Let us say this is second generation. I hope it is clear to you till here. It is second generation. Now you will see here that in the second generation, okay, they will have that variation is also present. You will see that change which was seen in the first generation, plus more variations will accumulate. More variation will be seen. But the variation which was seen in the first generation will also be seen in the second generation. So there is an accumulation of the generation, accumulation of the variations. Have you understood or know this thing? So this is creation of diversity over succeeding generations. For example, I will give you one example. Suppose there are certain bacteria in a certain place, okay, and those bacteria in them, some of the bacteria are heat resistant bacteria, okay. Now when suddenly the temperature will rise, what will happen? The bacteria which are heat resistant will survive, whereas the other bacteria will die. Now these heat resistant bacteria will reproduce and will form by a sexual method and will produce more bacteria, okay, which will again reproduce and will form more bacteria. So what happened? By doing so, a heat resistant variety of bacteria will be formed. Have you understood? So only the bacteria which are heat resistant will survive, others will die. So when these heat resistant bacteria will reproduce asexually, what will happen? The new generation of bacteria will be formed, in which some will be heat resistant, some will not have that trait. Again they will reproduce, again the more heat resistant bacteria will be formed, and at last the heat resistant variety will be formed. So here what is happening? The variations are accumulating. Is it clear to all of you? Now please come to next picture, that is Mendel studied inheritance of trait. There was a scientist known as Mendel. Okay, Mendel, he studied the inheritance, he studied the pattern, how the genes are transferred from, or how the characters or the information from one parent is transferred to the other parent. Understood? And he studied in garden pea, which is the botanical name of which is Pisum sativum, and he gave various laws. Understood? And he was called as father of genetics. Now he observed that the characters are transferred from one parent to the other, but how they are transferred? So he studied all these things, and he studied in pea. Why he took pea for his studies? Because it has a short life cycle, so the result he will get the result in shorter time. It is very easy and convenient to raise, maintain and handle these plants. Pea flowers are bisexual, and the plant shows several distinct and easily detectable contrasting traits. Now, pea flowers are bisexual. So it means that both the male and the female reproductive organs are present in the same flower, and they mature at the same time, and they ensure self-pollination also. And main reason was also because they have contrasting traits. What do you mean by contrasting trait? What are traits? What distinguishable expression of the character? For example, you see another table of contrasting characters or traits, 7 pairs. Okay, now here you see in P, flower color. Okay, so the character is flower color, and what are the traits? Contrasting trait, violet and white. Now suppose if I say the character is height, so what are the contrasting trait of that character? Height, tallness and shortness, they are contrasting. Okay, if I say the character is eye color, what are the contrasting traits? Blue and black. Okay, now you see the flower position is the character, the traits are axial, the terminal. Seed color, contrasting traits are yellow and green. Seed shape, the contrasting traits are round and wrinkled. Pod shape, the contrasting traits are inflated and constricted. Pod color, the contrasting traits are green and yellow. And height of the plant, contrasting traits are tall, dwarf and or short. Okay, so these are the contrasting traits, and all these were there in the P. Okay, now dominant trait and recessive trait. Dominant trait is that trait which is expressed, and recessive which is not expressed. Okay, suppose if there are 2 chromosomes. Okay, if there are 2 chromosomes, one is maternal and one is paternal. Now let me take the character height. And what are the traits of height? Tall and short. Now let me represent tall by capital T and short by small t. And there are 2 chromosomes. Let us say one chromosome is maternal and the another chromosome is paternal. Let us say maternal is tall. So here you will show it by capital T. And let us say paternal is short. So here you will show it by small t. The dominant trait is shown by the capital letter and the recessive trait is shown by the small letter. Now if there are 2 chromosomes and one is maternal, one is paternal, and maternal the trait is, the character is height and the trait is tall, and in paternal the trait is short. So the dominant trait in maternal chromosome, that is shown by capital T, and in case of paternal chromosome, that is shown by small t. So what will be the genotype here? The genotype will be T, capital T and small t. Okay, so this we will study in monohybrid and dihybrid cross. It is very easy. So capital T is the dominant trait, so that will be expressed. So the offsprings produced will be tall. Okay, so all these things we will discuss in the cross. Now, what are the acquired and the inherited traits? Acquired traits are the traits which are developed in an individual due to special conditions. Inherited traits which are passed from one generation to another. Acquired traits are those traits which you learn during your lifetime, like singing. This is the acquired trait. Dancing, swimming. So if your mother is a great singer, doesn't mean the offspring will also become a great singer. If father is a great swimmer, doesn't mean the child will also become a great swimmer. So these traits are not inherited. These traits are not transferred from one generation to the other generation. These are learned during the lifetime. And what are the inherited traits which are transferred from one generation to the other generation? Like tallness. If the father is tall or the mother is tall, it can be transferred to the offspring also. Why? Because it is controlled by genes. So that is the inherited trait or also the genetic traits. Now if you take mice and you cut the tail of mice, and those mice will produce the offspring, but all the offspring will have tail. So this is the acquired trait. Okay, so acquired traits are not transferred to the progeny. What is progeny? The new individuals which are formed. Traits are transferred to the progeny. For example, disease called as diabetes is also a inherited traits. Generally, it is seen that the gene for diabetes can be transferred from parent to the offspring or from one generation to the other generation. So it is a inherited trait. Understood? So the traits which can be transferred are the inherited traits, and the traits which cannot be transferred are the acquired traits. Understood or no? So students, we will do till here. Please revise it. Thank you.